And we're good.
We're joined by the very famous Michael O'Brien. Michael, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
So Michael, you've been involved in police corruption in the past. Tell us a little bit more about your particular case.
Well, my journey started, in 1987 when I was convicted of the murder of a Cardiff newsagent, and there was particular police officers in my particular case which made up evidence and used criminals to give false evidence against us, which resulted in us doing 11 years and 43 days in prison.
Wow. Okay, and you released, was that in the 90s?
I was released in 1998. I've been out now nearly 20 years, and I've been involved in miscarriages of justice since I've been released from prison. I've worked with Paddy Hill, with Mojo and any other organisation which exposes injustice. It's an academic of miscarriages of justice, and the particular case we're going to talk about today, Joe Fetters, is one which concerns me greatly.
So you're aware of the Joseph Fetter case?
I've gone through all the paperwork with his father. I've gone through the paperwork, and I've seen so many things which is wrong with this case. I'd like to know how it got off the ground in the first place, because I've never ever in my time seen a case like this where there was no impact from Joe Fetters' car, and yet he's doing a sentence higher than what the actual perpetrator did. I really don't get that at all. It doesn't make sense. I mean, we found a point of law this morning which was very useful from the Supreme Court, and I brought it to, I will be bringing it to the attention of Joe Fetters' barristers. But the fact is, the witnesses lied, clearly lied. The CCTV shows that there was no race. There was no race. Speeding is a difference to racing. And, we've all sped on the motorway, and I'll give you a classic example. Say, for instance, take you or I now on the motorway, and you're doing 90 miles an hour, I'm doing 90 miles an hour. You smash into a car, does it mean it's my fault because I was speeding too? I mean, that sets such a dangerous precedent for convicting the innocent. It's unbelievable, and this is what's happened to Joe. And, there's no doubt about it. One police officer in particular in this case has lent on witnesses to bolster the case, which, or non-existent case, I'd like to say. So there looks like there's some evidence there when these witnesses were in serious trouble with the police. One of them had 125 convictions, a lot of it for drug dealing, and he got off on the basis that he gave evidence against Joe. You cannot use evidence like that in a court of law. It's just not right, and this is what causes miscarriages of justice.
So from your experience and knowledge, what do you think will happen with this case? Will Joseph be set free?
Well, we're all hoping Joe's going to be set free. There's a lot of work to be done still, but there is going to be an appeal, and we're not going to let go. And I think people know me. I'm like a Rottweiler. Once I got my teeth stuck into something, I will not let go. And I will be mentioning on the radio tonight about Joe's case as well. I'm being interviewed tonight, and I want to highlight it in whenever I possibly can. We're going to set up a campaign, and we're going to try and get Joe out. We're going to show the public this cannot keep continuing. They say the bad old days of the 80s had gone, but then you look at it now, and some of the tactics which are used in Joe's case were used in mine over 30 years ago. So these practices haven't been stamped out, and that's what you've got to look at as well. It's very, very important.
So you're working very closely with the friends and family of Joe.
So, Mike, another thing you want to put across here, we've had scientists that look at the CCTV, right? And it's been messed with. We can say that. We've got proof of
yeah,
that, right?
Yeah.
And also, Mike, the police